What's going on, guys? Shane here. Today we're talking about that point style karate or Taekwondo movement that people refer to. It's pretty much that explosive movement from a side stance. Let's break it down and take a look. Alright, so we see this movement being used in the UFC from fighters like Sage Northcutt, Darren Till, Conor McGregor, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, bringing in that traditional footwork into mixed martial arts. So let's break it down. In a traditional Muay Thai or even Kyokushin karate, we stand on railroad tracks with our hips squared, our shoulders squared, meaning facing our opponent, right? So we're here. The reason why we stand this way is so we can easily lift our legs to check, so that we have almost equal power on both sides, right? Bas Rutten talks about how he has power in his lead hand because he still can rotate his hips, so it's less of a probing jab and more of a power punch. The same thing with the right, the hooks, and the kicks as well. However, in Taekwondo and some styles of karate, we have more of that side stance where we're standing on just one railroad track. Now, we are susceptible to low kicks because it's hard to lift my leg up and turn it out, and they're going to catch right behind the leg or right behind the knee, and I'm compromised my stance for takedown, so it's easy for people to take me down or to get a body lock on me. So there are pros and cons to this. However, let's just talk about what works effectively and how to do it properly. So first, you're going to stay in that side stance. This is to imagine I'm fighting someone right here in front of me, right? So normally I'm facing them like this, head on, hips squared to them, but now I'm going to switch my stance sideways. From here, I'm just going to have you put your hands at your side and just bounce, almost like you're skipping rope, right? Just jumping, both feet coming off of the ground same time, and they're hitting the ground same time. Now, this bouncing motion is very common, you'll see in Taekwondo, right? They keep their hands at their side because they use this for balance, so they can use it for momentum to swing into their spinning kicks. But this explosive in and out movement, we call this traditionally okuriashi. It's just that, it's exploding in, stepping with one foot, and the other one has to catch up. And that's one of the most important points of this movement is you have to use both legs. If I'm advancing forward into my opponent and I just step with this one and this one drags behind, that's extra weight that I'm dragging, that's slowing me down. I gotta bring that with me, keep it under my hips, and also use that for my next movement. Maybe I'm going in and coming right back out, in and out. And if you watch my footwork there, when I step in, I kind of turn this foot back. Because if I'm facing this guy over here, imagine if I'm fighting someone over here. Which direction do I want my foot to be? I'm not gonna go like this, right, and back over. So whatever direction I wanna go, I like aiming that way with my rear foot. So I step in, I propel off, but then I pull myself back if I'm trying to retreat again. All right? The toes are gonna be faced on an angle. The more that I face them out this way, the more pressure I have, the more surface area, which means I can drive back off of that foot. Again, I'm more compromised and open for those leg kicks, so keep that in mind. Now, we have that okuriashi movement, right, where we step in, we explode, and we come back out. One thing to keep in mind, too, is I'm not going bouncing up and into it. That's too much time. That's an arc motion. I want to get A to B in a straight line, directly where I got to go. So I do bounce, but then when I go, I stay low to the ground, right? It's almost like the opposite of the jump. I'm coming low, and then I explode and shoot in and back out. It's at the bottom of the bounce that I move, okay? And another movement that we can incorporate is one of my favorites, the pendulum step. I covered this movement recently in one of my favorite comedies, talked about the side kick. So we can do that same thing here, right? We're from the side stance, and I just replace this lead foot with my rear. Boom, the pendulum step. From here, I could throw that side kick, throw a hook kick, a round kick, or we could do that combo that we did before, where I fake, pull down on the hands, and follow up with punches. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So incorporate the side stance and that explosive in and out movement into your mixed martial arts training because after all, that's what mixed martial arts is. It's a blending of different styles. Is this going to work against everyone? No. Your lead leg is susceptible to kicks and you're exposed for takedowns. But if you can seamlessly transition without them seeing it or get out of range before they can catch you, then it should work effectively. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the Underdogs.